What's good, YouTube? In this video we're going to be talking about how to play Gibraltar. Now, whether we're talking arenas or battle royale, Gibraltar is one of the best legends and has been one of the best legends for a while now when it comes to Apex. So this guide for sure will help you with arenas, and you can also take this guide and bring it over to the battle royale if you plan on using Gibraltar. But at the moment I currently have like a little over 2,000 kills with Gibraltar, and I think 400 wins. I'm not sure, but Gibraltar is a top tier legend in arenas. He is very dominant if there is no other Gibraltar on the enemy team, and also he is one of the few legends all three of his abilities actually do something, and to be honest, all three of his abilities are top tier, which makes Gibraltar one of the best legends. But first, let's start talking about his passive, which is his gun shield. Gibraltar's gun shield, I mean, this is what makes him a very versatile legend, because his gun shield can be used for up close battles to help you, and it can also be used for defensive / supportive playstyle. And the gun shield, just in case if you guys don't know, gives you an extra 50 health. So if Gibraltar in arenas has a purple shield, he basically has 250 health because of that gun shield when it's activated. If your gun shield does get destroyed, like if it gets destroyed in a gunfight, it will reset and come back within 7 to 8 seconds. And this is the reason why he's one of the best supportive or defensive legends, is because he gets that gun shield back. When you get it back, you could definitely stall while in gunfights. For instance, when Gibraltar, like let's say on the map Party Crasher, most teams will get on the top where the two ships are, and they will exchange, doing damage to one another. But with Gibraltar, you could just use his gun shield to take in damage, and that won't take damage for your actual shields or health. So you could use that as an advantage, and that's one of the reasons why I prefer and play Gibraltar, because of those fights that stall out. But like I said, the other way to play Gibraltar is to play aggressive, because you know that you do have an extra 50 health on you with his gun shield. So his 1v1 are usually pretty good. If you are someone who has good aim, especially in close range, I would say to use Gibraltar as an aggressive legend, because just take advantage of having that gun shield. Now we're going to talk about Gibraltar's tactical, which is his bubble. His bubble is another reason why it allows you to be a very versatile legend or a teammate or a versatile player, because his bubble can allow you to be aggressive, be an offensive player, or it can allow you to be defensive / supportive. With this bubble, if you are a team, then I would highly recommend communicating with each other to tell your teammates that you're gonna go push up with the bubble. This will let you and your teammates know to grab guns that are good for bubble fighting, and guns that are good for bubble fighting, you can tell your teammates to maybe grab shotguns or SMGs or even a charged up rampage or whatever. Guns that are good up close, and guns that are good for going in and out of the bubble. But that's good for aggressive pushing. If you are more of a solo player, or if your team maybe isn't too aggressive, you could definitely use his bubble for things like grabbing the heals like through the supply bins. That will allow you to not get hit when you're looting the supply bins. Also, when it comes to this bubble, it's really good for revive. So someone like a lifeline on your team is definitely a lot of help, because the lifeline can revive, and we all know that lifeline does not have that shield no more. So you could throw a bubble on top of the revive, which will probably secure a clean res with the lifeline and Gibraltar combo. And of course, you can always use the bubble for any types of emergency, right? If you're maybe crossing somewhere, you got to know that Gibraltar is a big person, so use his bubble as a way to cross so you don't get hit. But the biggest things for his bubble that I like to use is either for early rounds to go for the supply bin, or use his bubble to push up and start aggressive fights. Now also, when I'm playing Gibraltar, I usually like to always have, after the second round, or even sometimes in the second round, I usually like to have bubbles, because like I said, I usually use the bubble for the heals, so that will end up leaving me with one extra bubble. I think the bubble comes back in 20 seconds. I forgot, it's between 20 to 25 seconds. I always have an extra one just in case for either the emergency of about to be knocked, or if I'm about to go push a team, so anything like that. it's always good to have the bubble. Even though the bubble is expensive, I think it's, if I remember, it's 200. Just keep that in mind. Like I said, you could also think of, you know, buying an extra bubble for 200 and being able to secure the supply bin. So that means you're getting 2 bats, 1 medkit, and 1 phoenix. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is Gibraltar's ultimate. Gibraltar's ultimate is expensive. It costs 500 materials, and it's an ultimate to where you can use it or get it every 3 rounds. So at max, you can have it or use it for 3 times in one game if you guys go to sudden death, and if you use it every time you're able to get it. Gibraltar's ultimate is up there when it comes to one of the best ultimates, because I'm not going to say it could secure you a win, but it could definitely help you and give you guys the advantage when it comes to winning. So even though it's an expensive ult, just know that it definitely helps your chances a lot when it comes to winning. I mean, to be honest, when it comes to Gibraltar's ultimate as well, in my opinion, the best times to use Gibraltar's ultimate, or the best maps, are on Party Crasher, where it lands on the ship side, and then I want to say Phase Runner when the circle is in the middle. If you can stall or hold out when the circle is in the middle, where it will end on the 2 truck, you know, out in the open, that's the best time to throw that ult. If you're not going to use it to, you know, damage enemies, you could definitely always use that ultimate to get enemies out of position, you know, especially if the other team's a bunch of solos, then you could definitely make them scramble and not really have a game plan because of your ultimate. Your ultimate definitely will throw them off. Like I said, these are Gibraltar's 3 abilities. I mean, these 3 abilities are probably the best abilities when it comes to all the legends, all their 3 abilities put together. I mean, Gibraltar, his abilities are just used all around. You know, you have legends like Pathfinder, who I consider the best legend in the game, but I mean, really, he only has 2 abilities. He has no passive. You know, you have characters like Octane. He actually has all 3 abilities, but you know, I don't think it's better than Gibraltar's when all put together. Bloodhound has, you know, really 2 abilities in my opinion. I mean, so Lifeline really has 1 ability, which is her res. I mean, her drone can be clutch too, but I think the revive is really the only thing when people use Lifeline. So when you're talking about the best legends in the game, Gibraltar definitely fits that role as an elite legend when it comes to arenas. His abilities are a big part of it. I mean, if you want a Gibraltar to be aggressive, he could be aggressive. You want him to play a support role, he could definitely be that. It's always good to have a Gibraltar. In my opinion, I've always said to myself, and this is one of the reasons why I've mained Gibraltar for the past seasons, because I've always wanted to improve on him and be better as a Gibraltar. I've always said that if there was any legend that you could have as a teammate where that legend is dominant, I would always have a dominant Gibraltar on my team, just because what he can do and how much of a factor he is. You know, he's just so dominant when it comes to Apex Legends. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is Gibraltar and the best teammates to have. I think I mentioned some of them already in the video, but now the best teammates that I would say for having with a Gibraltar, if you're going to pair up, if you're teamed up, the first legend I want to talk about is Bloodhound. Bloodhound is probably the best legend to pair up with Gibraltar. The reason being is because of Bloodhound scans. Now, I know I always say that, you know, when you're teaming up with legends, it's always good to have Bloodhound because of his scans, but for sure when you're a Gibraltar, having Bloodhound, you guys could literally just push any team that you want because you can scan them easily, right? And then you're gonna bubble up with a Gibraltar. This could probably secure you guys a easy kill in the beginning and then just play off that. I mean, you could do so many strategies with the Gibraltar Bloodhound combo. It's one of my favorite ones in arenas. Bloodhound's of course a good legend to have as a teammate. Lifeline is good as well, just because like I said, with the bubble and Lifeline's res ability, that's always good to have. The third legend that we're going to be talking about is either Pathfinder or Octane, just so that they can use their abilities and get to the middle of the map with their jump pad or their zip line. Those help out a lot. So Pathfinder, Octane, Bloodhound, or Lifeline, any of those 4 you can have as the 2 teammates will help out a lot for Gibraltars. And for me, the best map when it comes to Gibraltar is Phase Runner and Party Crasher. Those 2 maps are my favorite when at Gibraltar. So many strategies on those 2 maps that you could do, and your ultimate is very effective on both of those maps. Now, the best guns, like I said, Gibraltar is one of the versatile legends, so you can use any gun really. For me, I will say that Gibraltar is the only legend often that I do use 2 guns, or I'll select 2 guns, but that would be because I'm grabbing like an assault rifle, like an Hemlock, that I do think is good on Gibraltar compared to R3, just because the purpose of the Hemlock and the R3 is for medium to long range, and the Hemlock is cheaper, so this will allow you to grab a close range weapon like a shotgun. My favorite shotgun would be a Mastiff. If I'm going a versatile role where I can try my best to fit, you know, close range, medium range, and even long range, just shooting the gun, I usually prefer the Volt, because the Volt is pretty good in bubble fights, and you could use it for, you know, that short to medium range if your aim is good with the Volt. So my preferred guns would be the Volt, Mastiff, or the Hemlock, however your playstyle is. Definitely recommend using any of those 3. And if you're more of a long range, then I would say the triple take is a good one as well. But this was the video with Gibraltar. Like I said, he's one of the best legends when it comes to arenas and even in the battle royale. If you are a player who has teammates, I definitely recommend trying to use Gibraltar, because he can help out the team a lot, so many different ways, and he can impact the game. Try out Gibraltar. Let me know what you guys think of the video, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.